don't get all confused like we are.
これ何やってんのって感じだよね。
Welcome to the Lost in Japanglish channel, delivered to you in a bilingual format in English and Japanese.
ロスジャパチャンネルへようこそ。日本語と英語のバイリンガル形式でお送りしています。
I'm Chieko.
そしてやっこです。
And today we are talking about hand gestures that we use in Japanese and in English, how they're similar, how they're different, and how to use them correctly.
そうですね。今日はちょっとハンドジェスチャーということで手の仕草ですね。そこら辺ちょっと楽しく話せたら面白いなと思ってます。
So Yaku-chan, today actually, I went to lunch and it was a restaurant that's across the street from where John, my husband, works. And たまたま外にいて、I was like, oh. And he knows what this means.
Oh, he knows. まあ、
He
そうだよ
knows.
ね。
で
なるほど。
も、this one is not one that we use here in the United States. Can you explain it?
そうだね。これは we Japanese use this a lot and it means come here, right? It's kind of like that cat. 招き猫だよね。Yes,
はい
yes. It's basically saying come here, but アメリカだと違うよね、これね。
So my understanding is that some people will misunderstand this gesture and think it's like, shoo, go away.
はいはいはい。
And I didn't know that because I've obviously only known this as come here, come. But アメリカで使うと some people think it's 反対に you're like いけいけって
やっぱりそう見えるのかね。
I guess so. I guess that's a common misunderstanding.
なるほどね。だって、日本人だったら絶対こっちになるけど、アメリカでは come here はどうなる？
So you gotta flip the hand. So it's not this way, it's this way, and it's a finger.
Finger.
ちょっと来て。
これは、in Japan, it would mean that you're in trouble, I think. It's like, come here, and you'll have like this...
A stern face.
ちょっと、もう、怒られるな、みたいな感じにも思えるくらいのジェスチャーだけど、普通に、こっち来てっていう感じなのか。こういう感じ。
Yeah, just, oh, come here. っていう感じ。でも、if let's say someone is in fact across the street or a little bit further away, 日本だと I feel like you'd be like, ちょっとやっぱりこう like you're like bringing them in this way. In the United States, you'd be like, come here, it's under. ちょっと来いって感じ。
これはよく見るなって思って。
From farther away, you might be like, oh, come here. でもちょっと近いんだったらこっちだね。
こっちだよ。そうか。
I like 間違って、like なんか it's getting confusing.
これ何やってんのって感じだよね。だってさ、日本語でもこれは使わない。
Yes, don't get all confused like we are.
いや、これが起きるんだよね。どっちだかわかんないみたいな感じでさ。
Another one that I have seen a lot and I think people find funny is when 日本だとちょっと自分のことを話してると you say 私。
はいはい。
僕。
はい。
Me.
はい。
But in the United States, when you do this, people think you're pointing at your nose and you're saying something about your nose, like my nose.
それ悲しいね。自分って言ってんのに my nose だけで終わっちゃってるんだもんね。でも、
because we don't point to our face.
アメリカだと自分はここじゃなくて、もうこっちを指す感じかな。とか、こう、me みたいな。
Yeah, I feel like I don't point with my finger. I might be like, oh, me?
やっぱ、
Or like, oh, yeah, like I would use my whole hand. There is like, ちょっとif you're being kind of silly, you might be like, oh, me, right?
これ見る、これ見る。
Yeah, but that's not one that we use very often. I think if
はい
I
は
was
い
going
は
to
い。
be referring to me, I would be like, oh, me. But sometimes I point to my face because やっぱりちょっと癖なんで。
そうだ、ちっちゃんから聞いて初めて知ったの。日本人ってこうやるって。それまでやっこ気づかなくて日本人はこうするって。やっこなんかこれずっとこれでやってきちゃったから、ねえ、それで育っちゃったっていうところがあったんで、もうずっとこうなんだけど、確かに日本人ってこれやるねって思ったよね。
Yeah, yeah. And that's not something that is common in the United States.
だから外国行くとちょっとこれやるとわかんないよってことかな。
There could be a misunderstanding. They might be thinking that you're talking about your nose and not yourself.
それ悲しい。でも指といえば、こう数えるときも違うよね。
Yes. How do you count on your fingers?
やっこね、多分ね、ミックスになっちゃってるのかなって思うんだけど、やっこね、よくこう、1、2、3みたいなやつやるんだけど、like, I think in Japan we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, if I'm correct.
Yes, I think it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10じゃない？
そうだよね、そうだよね。
And it's always like palm facing. Well, I guess sometimes you say it like this, but I feel like most of the time it's sort of palm facing upward.
That's true.
And it's 1, 2, 3, 4. I feel like that's how they count. Yes.
こうだよね。Yes, yes, yes. I agree. だけどアメリカだと
We typically don't start with the thumb. It's usually the index finger. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
で、手のひらは相手に向けて、こういう感じか。こうじゃなくて。1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know, because I'm like, I feel like we're ちょっとごちゃ混ぜ
でしょやっこもごちゃ混ぜなんだよ。多分だからこうなっちゃってる。だって日本だと親指から始めると思うんだよね。だけど、
Yeah, and it opens, you're counting to close and then back open, where in the US we typically open, starting with the index finger, and then you close.
そうだよね。だからそれがごっちゃになってやっこ多分こうなっちゃってる。
Right? It's a funny thing, but I remember my dad would count like this, right? Like 日本人みたいに。And we always, learn to count like this.
そう。ここでね、微妙な違いがあるなって感じはするよね、指で。指を使うジェスチャーとしては。
Yeah, and so I do feel like if you're at a restaurant and they're like, 何名様ですか? You might be like 3名, right? Or 3人です。And I think that's normal, right? Like if you're pointing away, you're counting or showing somebody like, oh, it's 2 or 3. I think that's relatively the same. But yeah, when you see people counting on their fingers, you'll notice it does look different.
そうだね。
So let's talk about greetings, because I do feel like, cross-cultural situations, you're going to be meeting a lot of people. I do believe, many people know in Japan, it's a bowing culture. So you're going to be bowing to say hello. But in the United States, we typically reach out with a handshake.
やっこはこれでいつも苦労する。日本で外国の人と、例えば仕事で会った場合と、友達絡みで会った時と、どうしたらいいのか分かんなくなってきちゃう。相手は日本にいるから、こうすることを知ってんだよね。だけど、こっちは逆に握手することを知ってるから、なんか、お互いにこう出たりこうなっちゃったりとかで、ちょっとドギマギしちゃうみたいなことがあるよね。
Yes, I think that's a common thing. And, you do have to sort of read the room, see how they're responding. Are they really enjoying, being part of Japanese culture? Or are they not familiar and you want to make them feel more comfortable? So those are the dynamics that I think where you can make decisions on how to approach them, whether you're going to offer a handshake, whether you're going to bow. The one that I think people get confused sometimes about is the casual fist bump?
これも、迷う。うん、わかる。この間大失敗しちゃったもん。こうやって、これで、なんか、男性の方だし、結構なんか、こう、勢いある感じだから、これでいこうかなと思ったんだけど、思いっきりこうされちゃってさ、やっこのこれはどうしよう、みたいな。こう出したわ、この出しちゃった後がね、ちょっと、こう、恥ずかしいっていうところはあるね。
Yeah. Well, and a bow to me feels really formal. A fist bump is really casual. So it depends on the situation, right? But typically where you might fist bump is like, with your teammates. If you are like on a team together, you might be like, oh, that was a great meeting. Fist bump, fist bump, fist bump, right? After a training session, like, oh, fist bump, good job, right? I believe Obama, Barack Obama and Michelle would fist bump after, different things. Like you'll see them on TV, like fist bumping. So it's a very kind of intimate, but also casual connection point.
なるほどね。ちょっとそこを考えないといけないね。例えば、初めて会って、じゃあ、フィスパンプ。いきなりこれはちょっと違うってことだよね。
No, that's not typically how it is. There is a little bit more of a familiarity that needs to be there, I think, to fist bump. Or like some kind of event where you've done something together and you're like, oh, よくやったねっていう感じ。
そうだよね。なんかちょっとグッジョブが入ってるよね。
はい。
その感覚はある気がする。
Or when you're saying goodbye, that's another place you might be like, all right, see ya, fist bump. Because you're already connected at that point, right? It's not like, oh, hello, fist bump. That would be a little bit awkward unless you were already pretty familiar with each other.
その感覚はちょっとなかったからやってみる。グッバイの時ね。もうとりあえず分かり合えたらね、こういけるかなっていうところね。オッケーオッケーオッケー。ありがとう、それ。ちょっと
But it is a very casual, kind of a younger move. Like you're not going to fist bump your grandma, right? That's someone may not see that, right? But it did become more popular during the pandemic because it was lower contact.
そうだよね。そこではよく見た気がするし、なんかエルボーで。
Yeah, we do the elbow bump.
そうね。
The elbow bump hasn't sustained it. It's no longer around.
ほんと、わかった。じゃあもうこれはあんまりやらないよね。こっちの方がいいね。I think in Japan, bowing is like for everything. So, it's not like you have to kind of read the situation っていう感じよりは、like I think we can use bowing for a lot of occasions. However, as you said, it's a little formal. It's on the formal side. So if you're friends that you know very well, you're not going to bow that often. Bye bye.
So when you greet your friend, you would do what?
Yeah! みたいな。まあ、yeah はちょっと、今ちょっと作った。ちょっと待って。おーみたいな感じかな。なんかそう。
Like a hello, but it's not necessarily a wave. ちょっとって感じ。
ちょっとかな。It's like, or おはよう、maybe even お疲れとか。But I don't think we would bow. これは、or for goodbyes, we wouldn't do that either. We would say,
ちょっと硬いよね。
そう。Yeah, it's a little too formal for friends.
So let's go to the more unique and funny hand gestures. So what have you seen where you're like, what does that mean?
What does that mean だと、お金はね、これを見た気がする。
Yes.
Right?
Money. That means money. Yes.
Right?
Show me the money.
Show me the money. 言いたいね。そう。でも、これはね、最初わかんなかった。やっぱに、in Japan, for money in general, we would use this. This is a little old, but
not like okay, but
not
like
this.
Okay.
Yeah, like this. In this position is how we would use it. So if it's the hand, if the hand is in this position, it would most likely mean money. And also for like bills, like we would imagine a fan made with bills, right? And we
は
would
い。
kind of
はい。
do
お
this.
金で、
お金で, yeah.
お金のファン。
Yeah, waving with the fan with all the bills in your hand is the money.
Yes.
Yes, for
Yes.
Japan.
So
これは
the
ね
real kind of slang hand gesture around money in the
うん
United States is this.
おー
And this is make it rain. So imagine that I had a stack of bills and
は
I'm
い
like, pa 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 っ
パ
て
パパパ
出して
パ
る。So it's like raining money.
いや、その景色いいね。なるほど。もう手裏剣みたいになってるね。
はい。
こう
Yes.
飛ばして、こう
はい
雨を降らせるお金
Yes.
の。へえ、こうやるんだ。これは初めて見た。
Because then it's
お
like
ー。
ふらふら、ひらひ
ひ
ら
ら
って。
ーってお金が降りてくる
Yeah,
感じ
so
ね。
if your friend is gonna, go
う
to
ん。
work and they're gonna
うん。
hustle real hard, you'd be like, all right, go make it rain.
なるほど。頑張ってこいみたいな時に使え
はい。
るんだね。お仕事なんか今日すっごい一大イベントがあるんです。行ってきますみたいな時
は
に、
い。
頑張ってよ
make it
いいね。
rain.
お金稼いでこいみたいな感じ
う
か。
ん、
おー、これいいかも。ちょっと初めて知った。
if I was like, やこちゃん、ジュース買ってきて、would you be like, お金くれ?
That's a good question because this wouldn't mean like if you needed money, you wouldn't really do this. But if you said, let's go have some dinner and I'm a little short on money, I would say, ちょっとこれがちょっと今日ないから、みたいな感じ。We would refer to
Okay.
this as これ, which
は
means
い。
this. We wouldn't say
Yes.
money. We wouldn't use the
Right.
word money. Yes.
Okay.
これ
I'm
が
just
っ
like
て
a
いう
little
ね。
shy of this.
そうそう。うんうん。
Yeah, because money is so taboo to talk about,
I
I think,
know.
in a lot of cultures. So
そう
that's
そう
that's
そう
that's
そ
a
う
good
そ
way
う。
to do it. But then we know when people are like, これ, we know now we
うん。
know what they're talking
そ
about.
うだね。そう、結構こういうね、ちょっと怪しいのあるよね。おかしいやつ。まあ、これも結構衝撃だけど。ちいちゃんはなんか他にあるこの、なんかちょっと変わったやつとか、わかんなかったやつとか。
The thing that I hear about from my American friends that they
うん。
experience in Japan is this.
罰
Mm.
罰
If they're
は
trying
い
to
はい。
go somewhere and they're like, because they're not speaking to them in English,
う
so
ん。
they'll be like this, which is like,
うん。
ダメです。
ダメです。
できません。ダメで。
ですき
Or
ま
if
せ
they're
ん。
asking for something, like this is what they get. And the other one that I see that creates a lot of confusion is this.
これはね、日本でもよく話題になる。Like, what is this?
This is air quotes.
Okay, okay.
So they're
Quotes.
quotations,
う
right, which is
ん。
a grammar term.
うん。
And when we put things in quotations, it emphasizes them or sets them aside.
うん。
Air
う
quotes
ん。
is when you're putting them in the air, like
は
here,
い。
rather than on paper, right? So we
は
call
い
them
はい
air
はい。
quotes. But we use them often semi-sarcastically.
おー。うん。
So, someone might be like, oh, yeah, he went to his job.
なんか、それ本当にサーキャスティックだね、それね。
Yeah.
結構日本でもこれ話題になってて、この
Mhm.
海外の人がよくこれやるみたいな、何あれって聞
Mm.
かれることあるんだけど、ね、鍵括弧、日本で言う鍵括弧で、で、ちょっとこう強調したり、するものだけど、今の例、すごい面白いよね。だから彼、今日、仕事に行ったみたいな、仕事がこう入ってんだよね。
Because maybe it's not a real job, or maybe,
Mm.
they're actually going somewhere else, but he's just saying he's going to his job.
なんかこう、意味ありな感じを、ニュアンスを組み込めるエアクォートなんだね。はい。面白いね。ウケる。はい。
Are there any other hand gestures in Japan that you've seen foreigners not understand?
よく聞かれるのは、I get asked a lot, why do you do the peace sign? And I just don't know why, but I think it's very just かわいい。 which, Japan is all about kawaii. So I think that's a big part of it, but I don't know why. And how about you? Do you do this?
写真の時。Sometimes.
Okay.
And I do think 日本式に if I'm like peace, that's just like ちょっと可愛いさを出す。Right? Like that's all it doesn't have any significant meaning, I don't think. But in the United States, the peace sign can be a political sign, right? Of peace. So it is used very differently, and we don't tend to do peace signs for photos.
そうだよね. For us, it's so automatic.
Yes.
Like, right? And I sometimes, like, when I go to the United States, I take pictures の時に、なんかもう、automatically にやっちゃってて、やめよう、みたいな感じに思う時があるから。
Yes. I've been asked that too, because I think if you look across photos in Japan, so many people, like you'll see a whole group of girls being like, peace.
ね。もうみんな、なんかもうどんどんさ、エスカレートしても、とか、みたいな、そういうのもあったりするからね。
はい。Okay, well, let's jump to our pop quiz for today's episode.
はい。それではクイズコーナーに移ります。
Okay, Yako-chan. So I actually have a hand gesture question for you today.
Okay.
In the United States, we like to make the little heart sign. And so we might be like, hato.
はいはいはい。あるね、あるね。
Yes. But the other way that we've made hearts is like this.
これも知ってる。これもよくやる。
What is the newest, shall we say, more popular with the Gen Z's way of creating the heart?
I think I know this. Is it this?
No, that's actually, I think, more of a Korean heart.
Oh, really?
An Asia heart?
そうだね。BTS がやってるみたいなのか。それで聞いたのか。じゃあなんだろう。なんかね、なんか見たことある気がすんだよな。もっと、なんか、指でなんかやんない？
Yes.
I don't know. That's all I can. I know this. ここまでわかってる。ここまでわかってる。手で作るのはわかってるけど、なんか指でやってた気がする。But I don't know how it's made or how it's done.
ハート。
こういうこと。
Is it like this?
これ
I don't know if that's right. Let's look it up.
Okay.
いや、合ってると思う。Okay. I don't know. When we did it, I was like, なんか嘘っぽいな。
チェンジじゃないからだ。
I know, right? So I was like, that doesn't look right. But I think that is right. Okay. これです。こ
うか。ちょっと待って。人差し指と中指で、できない。こう
Yes. I have seen this though, and I do think this is a Korean heart.
だよね。
It's really cute.
It is! こっちっこいもんね。でもなんかね、どっかで見たことあるなって感じがしたね。こう、指でやるやつ。
なんかこんな感じ ?I'm not sure.
こうか。なるほど。こうね。できない。でも、すごくいいクイズをありがとうございます。ちょっとね、おばちゃん化してるから、ちょっとこれ練習しとかないとね、すぐパッてできるように、練習したいと思います。それでは、日本のクイズに行きたいと思いますが、日本語の方もね、ジェスチャーに関わっています。
Okay.
はい。日本ではよく見るジェスチャーなんだけど、スポーツのコートに、サッカーコートとか野球コートとか、まあ、プールでもそうなんだけど、そこを使って、選手がね、使って帰るとき、あるジェスチャーをします。さあ、どんなジェスチャーでしょ
う？ Is it the bowing?
ピンポンピンポンでございます。Yes! So, you'll see a lot of players, the soccer players, the baseball players, or swimmers, anyone who is leaving the court or the pool, they'll bow to the court, which is something is very unique, I think. だよ
That's
ね。
very Japanese ね。
いや、でしょそうそう。だけど結構やるんだよね。だから、
Mhm.
I thought it was a good quiz. But, さすがちーちゃん。
That is one that you'll see here in more of the Asian martial arts is
Oh,
people will
yes.
bow before going onto the mat or bow after they've come off of the mat as a part of the Asian bowing culture.
そうだね。確かに、武道はもう、道場は必ずやるもんね。どっちかっていうと。もう、お
Yes.
作法として。グッジョブでした。
Yay!
はい。
So gestures might seem small, but they're actually a big part of how we connect. So it's great to learn hand gestures, what's appropriate in which language and culture. So let us know in the comments which gesture surprised you the most. And let us know what was your favorite gesture. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and support our channel while you're at it.
そうですね。そう、ジェスチャーって結構重要な気がするんだよね。なんか言葉だけじゃなくって、だから英語の勉強、日本語の勉強してても、やっぱね、これも含めてのランゲージなので、ぜひぜひ楽しみながら学んでいけたらなと、やっこも思っています。皆さんも他にいろいろあると思うので、コメント欄ぜひ書き込んでいただけたらと思いますし、気に入っていただけたらいいねと、あとチャンネル登録もどうぞよろしくお願いします。です。はい。それでは、今日もご覧いただきありがとうございました。また次回会いましょう。バイバイ。
バイバイ。